dollar, that's what I need. And if I share with you my story, would you share your dollar with me? Bad times are coming, and I'll reap what I done sow.
Did you see that houseless mom and daughter sleeping in a tent? I said, did you see that houseless mama, daughter sleeping in a tent? It's because we don't got money for the rent. So if you know me, you have heard this houseless mama's lament. But what if, check this, the tent wasn't instead of rent? What if, check this, someone took this mama camping and said, forget about the rent for the tent. Come listen to the stars and watch Mama Earth's bars and let her wind brush past your face and caress all that sacred space. So this mama gets took to a place where people voluntarily live outside and cook and never fear a sweep or murderous police. And your feet caress her water and your tired eyes drink in her trees. And for just a second, you don't worry about every other effing need or where you can illegally pee. And life feels, for a fleeting second, like I don't gotta be scared and run and scream. And bloodstained dollars aren't important anymore. And then it's over. And life is back. And struggle is your jam until you can't no more. And you can see the attack. And you adjust because that's what, that's that voluntary camping-ish. Don't make no sense anyhow. You see, Mama and me made our bed outside next to trash cans and dumpsters and doorways and cars away from your eyes. And yeah, you could say we slept under some stars, but there was no stargazing in our reality. Only pole ice and how far we could get. Our reality, there was just terror and when cops be called and endless homelessness and poverty and park districts and DPW trucks and hater neighbors and when would CPS take me away from Ma and demand school papers. So yeah, I got triggers that need to be lifted up so we can clearly figure out how to home our po mamas and babies so we all ain't sleeping on a bus bench or the back seat of a broken truck. Yeah, today's PoemCast podcast from a poverty scholar goes out to all my fellow poverty scholars who are involuntarily camping, who may not have chose to be there, but because of the struggle and the trauma in our minds, because of one false move behind the rent lies, behind so many ways that capitalist is going to fuck up your mind, we end up outside. This PoemCast podcast from a poverty scholar is trying to deconstruct those spaces. This is stolen indigenous territory. There is no such thing as public parks. Public is only for certain public. Don't be caught in a sleeping bag looking houseless after dark. Oh, hell no. You will be took. You will be arrested or shook. Your things are no longer things. They are shit to be broken and stolen. And maybe you're lucky if you ever see them again. But more than likely, now you outside, so you look on as trash by all those hater neighbor eyes. This PoemCast and podcast from a poverty scholar is deconstructing. This poverty scholar had a moment away from all the corporate destruction. I was taken to voluntarily camp in a beautiful part of Mama Earth, and I had to say, without the trauma connected, without the broken fear of the next arrest, I could see the stars. I could think. I could dream. I could stop tripping about every little thing. But let's be real. Mama Earth is under attack. Climate terrorism. Right up on her back. All these voluntary camping sites are just more corporate industrial tourism. All these spaces and places should be stewarded by First Nations peoples and First Nations who've always been taking care of Mama Earth. Involuntary camping isn't cute, and I ain't turning it into anything less than depression and trauma. It's all about the broken roots. But I do want to lift up that rest from stress is necessary for our broken minds. I want to lift up solutions created by poor people that get more houseless families homeful, like we say, like I say, homefulness. I want to lift up that everybody deserves rest. And just telling somebody you can rest ain't enough. Not when there's too much stress. I want to lift up that so many of our brothers and sisters right now are dying from this heat, from the exposure, the violence of exposure. And so as you sit in front of your air conditioners or your fans, please remember that our bodies are melting. Please remember that we need to stop hoarding Mama Earth so that First Nations peoples can back their stewarded lands. Land back is real. It's also survival so that houseless people can build our own forms of thrival. Shout out to Wood Street Collective right now being evicted. Shout out to all the warriors who refuse to believe the settler lies. And shout out to all of you for listening and thinking that more people deserve to voluntarily stargaze and feel that wind on their tired eyes.
Well, let me tell you something. All that glitters ain't gold. It's been a long old troublesome road, and I'm looking for somebody coming